Right? So I'm going to read a nice story and you have to concentrate on it now. Now all this time we were talking about the good qualities of the mind. What are the good qualities? Quick, tell me all together. Loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, equanimity. Right, those four you have to cultivate. And I didn't finish off with Brahma-Vihara. Now we went to Brahma, we spoke about Brahma and we said he is the highest God. He possesses these very high qualities and the parents have them too. And also, why is it called Brahma-Vihara? So now Brahma means the highest. Vihara means, what is the Vihara? Pagoda. Where we keep the caskets of, where we keep the relics of the Buddha and the Arahats is called Vihara. So that means it's a safe place, isn't it? It's kept forever alive. Right? So then the Buddha says our heart also must be like that. The good qualities should dwell in our heart like the jewels in our heart, and they are called Brahma-Vihara. That is why they are called Brahma-Vihara. Understand that? Brahma, now you know who the Brahma is. You know what Vihara means. Vihara is a place that is kept for safety and well kept. So it should dwell in our mind as a Vihara. So they are there always. Understand that? Okay, that's a good simile. Yeah? Brahma-Vihara. And today's story is about dancing peacock. What's that? Oh, you have to be listening well, okay? Okay, I'm going to ask you questions. And the dancing peacock and the meaning it gives is it talks about pride and modesty. We'll see what the story is. Don't keep listening without moving around to that. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, the four-footed animals made the lion their king. The four-footed animals, who are they? With four legs. Okay, so they make not the birds. Because birds have only two. So only the four-footed. So who was the king? The lion, their king. There was a gigantic fish that roamed the oceans. Has he got legs? No. And the fish made him their king. So all the fish made that gigantic fish their king, right? The birds were attracted to beauty. So they chose the golden swan as their king. So now the birds also need a king now. Who was the king of the birds? The swan, right? King Golden Swan had a beautiful golden daughter. Now these are the birds. So King Golden Swan had a beautiful daughter. While she was still young, she granted her one wish when she was very young. She wished that when she was old enough, she could pick her own husband. So that she has the choice of picking her own husband. When his daughter was old enough, King Golden Swan called all birds living in the vast Himalayan mountains of Central Asia to a gathering. The purpose was to find a worthy husband for his golden daughter. Birds came from far away, even from high Tibet. There were geese, swans, eagles, sparrows, hummingbirds, cockatoos, owls, and many other kinds of birds. Right? The gathering was held on a high rock slab in the beautiful garden land of Nepal. King Golden Swan told his lovely daughter to select whichever husband she wished, because that was her wish. She looked over the many birds. Her eyes was attracted by a shining emerald green long-necked peacock. So the bird she chose was a peacock, because peacock's beautiful, isn't it? You think it's beautiful? Have you ever seen peacocks? No? You haven't? I have seen them in Australia too. Yeah, if you haven't seen, you must go and have a look. Might be in the zoo, or you might find them in places. And the feathers are beautiful, shiny, isn't it? Hey? Beautiful colors. Yeah, in Sri Lanka you see. Yeah. You see? Yeah, you see a lot in Sri Lanka. When you go to Sri Lanka, you must have a good look at them, right? She looked over many birds. Her eyes was attracted by a shining emerald green long-necked peacock with gorgeous flowing tail feathers. The feathers are gorgeous. And she told her father, this bird, the peacock, will be my husband. Alright. So hearing that, he was the lucky one. So the peacock was listening. Don't distract others. Turn around. You keep that bottle aside. Don't hold on to the bottle. Alright, good boy. So hearing that he was the lucky one, all the other birds crowded around the peacock to congratulate him. They said, even among so many beautiful birds, the golden swan princess has chosen you. We congratulate you on your good fortune. The peacock became so puffed up with pride. You know what that is? Puffed up with pride? What does that mean? The peacock became so proud with what the others had to say, and that he began to show off his colorful feathers in a fantastic strutting dance. Now the peacocks, this is what they always do. They want to show off and they show all their feathers like that, and they are very proud and they want to show it to others in a very graceful way, right? And he fanned out his spectacular tail feathers and danced in a circle to show off his beautiful tail. Being so conceited, he pointed his head at the sky. So he pointed his head at the sky and forgot all modesty. He also showed his most private parts for all to see. That's what happens in a peacock. He is very nice from the front, but not from the back. Now see, it's a good story you can understand, if you can understand this. The other birds, especially the young ones, giggled. King Golden Swan was not amused. He was embarrassed to see his daughter's choice behave in this way. He thought, this peacock has no inner shame to give him proper modesty, nor does he have the outer fear to prevent indecent behavior. So why should my daughter be shamed by such a mindless mate? Standing in the midst of the great assembly of birds, the king said, Sir Peacock, your voice is sweet. Your feathers are beautiful. Your neck shines like an emerald, and your tail is like a splendid fan. But you have danced here like one who has no proper shame or fear. I will not permit my innocent daughter to marry such a fool. The King Golden Swan married his golden daughter to a royal neville. The silly strutting peacock flew away, having lost a beautiful wife. Now the moral behind this. If you let pride go into your head, you will wind up acting like a fool. Get it? Get it? So what is pride now? We are talking about pride now.
So proud.
Pride has a very vast meaning. So now all this time we spoke about the good qualities of the mind. Now we are going to talk about the bad qualities of the mind. Why do we need to talk about the bad qualities of the mind? Because we want to get rid of them, because they give you unhappiness. They are not good, right? So now here it's now actually pride, anger, sadness, and every negative emotion stems out from one root cause. Pride, anger, anxiety, all those words that you can say, all the bad ones in our mind, sadness, and all negative emotions stems out from one root cause. So what is the root cause? It is the self-absorption. What is self-absorption? Absorption means me, mine, myself, and I. So when you hold to yourself so much, that is when you have these mental states grow. Let them grow. They grow in your mind. Yeah, right? So pride is also like that, because we have my mind and you hold on to those qualities, then the mental states, then problems arise. Right? Okay. So we will talk about the first one is anger. Is anger a good skill? Not a good mental state. So anger is not getting my way. So when you can't get what you want, and when you see that things are not happening your way, then what do we get? Angry. So whenever you have anger in your mind, sit up nicely, sit in a comfortable way. That shows that you are listening well. You put that thing out and sit, put it aside because it's not cold. And sit in a comfortable way, right? So I'm not getting my way. So now when anger comes to you, you know that, oh, this is what is happening in me. Quickly you have to look into your own mind, not in the other person's mind. What we always do is we look at the other one and say, this happened because of such and such a person. But that is not the case. You have to look into this and how did I get this anger? What caused this anger? How do you see it? Because I didn't get what I wanted. You are only self-inflicted, and also, okay, and you are self-absorbed. You only think about yourself. You are not considered about others. Do you understand that? Okay. The next one is envy and jealousy. Now, jealousy is a very bad mental state. When does jealous arise in you? You should know.
When you see someone doing something and you see someone have something better than you feel.
Very good. When you see someone having something better than you, that is when the jealousy arises. Is that a good skill? That's not a good quality at all. So, and I want that, and I won't give it to me. You won't give it to me. That should be mine. So that is jealousy, right? And sometimes we look at other people's things and we have a tendency to have them for us. Now that is not a good mental state. That is greed, also jealousy, because you want to have what others have. Can that be possible? No. You're given with what you got, and you have to be satisfied with what you got, because your parents can't give the whole world to you, can they? There is a limit that they can do, and you have to feel very sorry for them. Happy with what you are getting. You have to be very happy for what they give for you. But if you tried looking at BMW car, and what happens to your mind? Low and good greed arises in you, and that is also not a good mental state, because you can't be happy either, and you always want to have what the other person has. And some people, that is how some people, when they go into extremes, they steal from others, because they want to have what you want to have what others got. So that is not a good quality, right? And then depression. Have you ever faced depression? You have been facing in different times in your life. Nobody loves you. So one who is depressed thinks, nobody loves me, nobody appreciates me, nobody gets me, nobody gives me and love I want. That is depression, right? So why is that coming? Why is that nobody likes me, nobody treats me? Because you have this ego. You're angry, and also you hold yourself too much with yourself, because you think it's only me, it's only mine, right? Because you're so much involved with yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, that's not a good skill. You have to get rid of it, right? Okay. So very good that little Nangi is answering. See how good, because she has been coming for the 8 precept days, and now people understand a lot, isn't it? You all understand a lot of Dhamma now. Right, the next one. Frustration and anxiety. Have you ever faced frustration? Sometimes we get frustrated, no? And anxiety. The restlessness, you get that, no? I am uncomfortable. So what do you say then? I am uncomfortable. I am afraid that I am going to be uncomfortable. So sometimes you don't like certain people, and then you feel very uncomfortable being there, isn't it? That is also something with your ego, something with holding to me, mine so much. And then the next one is fear. Have you faced fear? Fear, I don't want that to happen to me. And that is a fear that's also a bad mental state, and that coming to your mind, a fear. So that fear also comes because you are holding to myself. Something will happen to me. But if you let go, there won't be any fear. Huh? Let go yourself. Let anything happen, so I'm okay. No fear. But it's hard to think. I can remember when I was, in our meditation center in Sri Lanka. That's a bit of a lonely place because you don't get many houses around. You can't see a single house, but we have all these kutis. And I stay alone in my kuti. And at night sometimes, when it's dark, you hear noises coming from maybe from birds or leaves falling. And I used to think, oh, I'm alone in this kuti. Sometimes I feel, what if anything happens? Now see, that is fear. Why does that fear comes? Because we have this ego, the mind feeling. As long as you hold on to yourself, your self-esteem, then, and the more you are prone to it, more you are attached to this fear and anxiety, depression, attached to yourself, these things are worse, more and more. But what I did was, I thought, let go. Let it go, and I'm not bothered. Let anything happen. And then I chanted the Itipiso Gatha, which is very good. When you have fear, it gives you very good results when you get out of fear. Do you know why the Itipiso Gatha is so useful when you have fear? Because the reason is, now our mind is with anxiety and fear. And you focus your attention to a holy object, the Buddha qualities. So very soon your mind gets switched to a wholesome thing, and you forget the fear. And then you can change your attitude, mood. It happens. So every time you focus your mind to a wholesome object, that's why you say it's wholesome, because the Buddha is a person who has eradicated all defilements and the greatest of the all. So when you focus on the qualities of the Buddha, very quickly the other things disappear. Anxiety, frightening feelings, all that disappear. So you can try that too. Sometimes you see bad dreams, do you? I know young people. Do you see bad dreams? Right? You do. Then what do? Very quickly, you turn your mind to Itipiso Gatha. Now you all know how to chant Itipiso Gatha. And do you know the meanings of Itipiso Gatha? Huh? You don't know? Do you know? You must ask your parents to teach you, right? Itipiso. One day we will do it.
The Buddha's virtues.
Yeah, the virtues of the Buddha are in the Itipiso Gatha, right? If you have some books, you have to go read through them and understand the meanings. And I know some classes teach them. When you come into older classes, they teach you the meanings of Itipiso Gatha. If you don't know, you have to read through books and understand, right? Right? Okay. So now most of the time what happens is, we don't like to think that we are self-absorbed. That means we don't like to think that we have this ego, that me, only mine. So what happens is, you always hold things to yourself, right? Because that is what we are getting affected. So as long as you can learn to let go, get down your try to reduce your greed and try to reduce your pride, that is the time you can be happy, right? So your mind releases, and this is why the people who have attained these higher states of mind, they can live peacefully, because they don't hold on to things, even to myself, the self identity, right? So as long as you are more prone to them, you will have all these problems in your life, right? Now, so it is easy to spread happiness to people we love and feel good about, isn't it? It's very easy to spread happiness to people we love, but is it easy to spread happiness to people we don't like? Very difficult, no? Yeah, see? So now we know the faults of our mind, don't we? Huh? And you know what the mind, the Buddha wants us to have? Now you understand. Now what you need to do is you have to remind yourself that you at times are a person. So you have to remember that when these bad qualities come into your mind, you have to quickly either convert them to the opposite, or you have to understand that they are here now. Now I have got this pride and my pride is talking now. Now I have got this pride and my pride is letting me do this, and I should now keep away from that. I should not go far beyond that. Or now my mind is teaching me about the greed, asking me to go and indulge in unnecessary pleasures. And then so always remember that happiness is in the letting go. So always happiness is in the letting go, because the other happiness that you gain from watching videos, TVs and doing all sorts of things, they are very short. They don't last long. The moment you finish them, your mind becomes very unhappy, right? But the happiness that you let go, now see, we meditated today, we did the Brahmavihara Bhavanas. I am sure most of you got that happiness of giving. Now you have to observe those things and, excuse me, sit up nicely and listening. Huh? You are not listening. That's why you are moving around, looking here and there. Keep listening, Baba. Okay? So the happiness of giving, the Buddha says, it's not greedy and it's not about me. So when you give happiness, it's the opposite, isn't it? It's not about me and it's not about being greedy. So we are giving out. That's what it means. Letting go gives you happiness. Right? Understand? There is another story to go with the pride. I will do that after lunch, right? But I will talk to you about these other qualities. Let me talk to you. The word conceit. What is the word conceit? Do you know the meaning of conceit? It's the pride. It is also pride, and it's excessive self-pride. What is it? Excessive self-pride. And you have this self-importance. It's me, and I have to do it, and it's mine, and it's good. Right? So it's a superior way of thinking, you know. And if one regards himself superior or equal or inferior by reason of the body that is impermanent, painful. So someone can think that I am superior to others. Another person thinks I am what? Inferior to others. Another person might think I am same as the other. All three can give you unhappiness. So what happens if you act like I am superior and I have to be this and that? So very soon what will happen? Is it going to make you good? Huh? You are going to find difficulties at school, isn't it? If you act out like that way. And pride in its all forms devolves from self-esteem. So pride evolves from self-esteem. What is self-esteem? Because our mind says I am this and I have to be this and I have to do this and I like this. That is self-esteem. So always this self-esteem likes to satisfy you. Understand that? Is it too hard for you to understand what I'm saying? No? These are good things, when you learn from young age. It will help you out to grow well, do well in your life. Okay. So, the ego, we call it also ego, no? You know what the meaning of ego. It's also the self-pride. And it stems from the roots of evil. Do you know what are the roots of evil? The roots of evil. Good, greed. There are 3 roots of evil. Greed. Jealousy is in greed, right? What's the next one? Anger, very good. Third one? Delusion. They are unwholesome roots. We can interpret in different ways. Some says the root of evil. But whenever we say the roots, they are greed, anger and delusion. Right? Remember that. Greed, anger and delusion. Now when an ordinary person thinks of greed, he thinks first of what one puts into one's tummy. So when an ordinary person thinks of greed, what does he think? Food on the table, and now you think of your own tummy, isn't it? So I need to go and grab all the good ones and eat them. Now that is greed. But if you are considerate about the others, and if you think that there is little out there, and if I take a little of that, then others also can share it. Now that is not greed. Okay? Right. So now you have to remember this item. And then also going for the second helping for the pudding, irrespective of thinking of others, what is happening there? That is also a bit of greed. But if there is plenty and you want to go for the second, that is fine, isn't it? That is okay, because you can be happy and the others can be happy too, because all can share nicely, equally, right? So now greed is delight in one's own possession. So greed also is trying to look after one's own possession. That is also greed. My chair, my pen, nobody should touch it, and my suitcase, my dress. So you hold to possessions. That is also kind of greed. Right? So as long as you hold that as mind, my car, my table, my cat, my best friend, the greedy aspect of conceit is recognized when we realize we are taking delight in our own good qualities of capacities. So what you need to do is, when you see them qualities grow in your mind, very quickly try and get rid of them, because now you know that they are bad. Because you think pride is good. I will tell you another story after lunch, but I'll tell you what happens when what happened to the peacock. He lost that beautiful girl. And then also this pride can come when you finish up a piece of work. Say you or your teacher asks you to complete a piece of work, say something, do it. And having made a good job of it, then one is always pleased, no? You become pleased, but that is good, that is okay. But there is no harm in that. And the difference is only if you begin to compare it with others. So you are asked to do something good and you are happy, that's okay. But what happens next when you go to compare with another person? That is where problem is going to arise, isn't it? As you said before, the jealousy arises. And that is that a good state? That's not a good mental state, right? So we have to be careful about it. And then that is also called the superiority conceit. So you think I'm very high, I have done this and I can do this, and so I'm very superior. And the next one is opposite of that, inferiority quality. Inferiority conceit. Then I can't do that. I know that person can do it well. I find it very difficult. It's too much for me. And that is also bad. And then the equal conceit. I'm good as you. And a good deal better. So that is also a different way of looking. So a feeling of superiority is a very pleasant mental state. When you feel superior, it's a pleasant one. But it is essentially akusala, unwholesome. Okay? Even though you feel good, it is akusala. Unhealthy and unskilled, highly dangerous in its results. So it's unhealthy and unskilled, highly dangerous in its result. So what is opposite of conceit? Pride. Humility, modesty, respectful, humble, either way. So now there is another story. Now see, you can look it at. Now see, some people, when they meditate, it happens with the elders, right? Not with children. After some time, after they meditate, they think, oh, it's a sign of virtue and advancing towards higher consciousness. And they think, instead of checking up with their teacher, they think that they have reached halfway to being an arahat. That is conceit. So they think, oh, now I'm meditating, I'm doing this and that, and now I'm halfway, maybe I'm a stream enterer or someone about that, and then, right? So we do well, we have to remember that no two people have exactly the same experience in regard to meditation. No two people have the same experience, right? And was recognized in the Buddha's own day as Venerable Sariputta. He was revered for his wisdom, right? He was honored for his wisdom. And the Venerable Moggallana, these are the two Buddha's chief disciples, he had these psychic powers. But both were venerated as great beings. Now that's how we have to remember. So even though you have some better skills in one way, your brother might have skills in another way, right? So they are different, but they are both good. See? So that way you have to make up your mind. I'm not superior, I'm inferior. You don't have to feel that way. And also you understand that it is the karma that brings us to this stage, isn't it? The karma is different for each other. And so each one is respected in two different ways. And some people, on the other hand, who are modest or different by nature, can only work well when they are appreciated. And trouble is that too much praise, particularly if it broadens on flattery, stimulates the sense of I-ness. So when we praise people too much, or when we get praised, what happens? The ego sticks out from our mind. Praising sometimes also happens. So you have to remember that too much praising, when you are praised too much, also keep in mind that you have to be careful, because the ego sticks out. The I-ness sticks out when someone praises you too much. So when you hear that, you just try to get back to your normal, right? Or else let the person praise you. You just be calm. Don't take too much into your ego that I am good, I am big, I am so and so. Alright. So cultivation of humility is not easy. There is a temptation to indulge in mock modesty and untruthfully disclaim any real achievement. So I think to tackle conceit, one can do that when humility will develop in the natural. So what you need to do is to get rid of this pride. You have to improve the quality of modesty, the humbleness. And also you can improve your kindness, compassion, and those good qualities. So bring all the good qualities of the heart, practicing them more, and learn to get rid of the bad qualities away from your mind, right? And we call these bad quality skills as, come and sit, we call these skills as 10 fetters. The people in my class now, they learn the fetters. They come in the 10 fetters, Sangyojana. And these are, be quick. So when you get rid of them, when you get rid of these 10 fetters, permanently, you become an Arahat. Now the Arahat's mind, it's so pure that none of these qualities, bad qualities, exist in them. But what are the good qualities that exist in them? We learnt the 4 Brahma Viharas. See? All the bad qualities. So now we have an aim, don't we? One day we have to gain enlightenment. We want to attain Nibbana, don't we? As Buddhists, we have to. So in order to reach that state, we have to gradually get rid of those bad ills, right? And it's difficult. It's not difficult as long as you see them when you get them in your mind. So at home is the best place for you to practice that. You have siblings, sisters and brothers, and sometimes you have fights, don't you? You do, don't you? I used to have fights. We used to have certain arguments and things like that. So very quickly when the pride arises, you think, I'm better than my brother, and my mother loves me too much, so much, more than he is. No? So now when these things come into your mind, you have to understand, be modest about it. Don't get it too much into your mind. And the self, I, ego, as long as we cling to ourselves and we can't let go, that gives you a lot of dukkha. It won't give you peace of mind, right? If you hold on to things, it won't give you happiness. So letting go is a good way, and lead just a very normal, simple life, and do the right thing. Do what is left for you. You have to do your duties to the school, to your teachers. At home, do the duties to your parents. Now put your hand up if you are a person who helps your father and mother at home, doing school household things. You do? Very good. What sort of things you do at home?
We just meet in our house, so we have to get a table ready and beds. So I fetch the toolbox and help, and
They help your parents to fix them up. Very good. So these little things you should do, because they are also going through a hard time, All are working. All moms are working. And also they are doing the cookings. And then you have to look after the children's welfare, your washings and all that. And your parents, dads are also working very hard, isn't it? Doing their jobs. So as young children, your duty also, you should do some help them with your household things, because those good, they help you, and also they are wholesome. They give you good results, right? Very good result. Now also in the Eightfold Noble Path, have you put your hand up if you understand? Have you heard about the Eightfold Noble Path? Very few people. Okay. So the Eightfold Noble Path is the path that we need to tread. We have to practice in the Eightfold Noble Path. So in the Eightfold Noble Path, the first one is right understanding. What is it? Right understanding or right view, which is very important. And that's the mental quality, seeing the reality. This is not mine, I am not this is no self in it. So that is what the right understanding is, right? So you see things really in a real way as they are, and also the right effort in the Buddha's teaching, right effort. So in the right effort, Buddha teaches, your mind has wholesome and unwholesome thoughts, isn't it? You have wholesome thoughts and unwholesome thoughts. Now the Buddha says, I'm going to ask you questions, so keep listening. Now you have to discard, that means get rid of unwholesome thoughts that has raised in you. So you have to get rid of them. And also Buddha says, get rid of the unwholesome thoughts that has not arisen in you. Right? So we have to work hard even to those unwholesome thoughts that has not come to you. Then also the Buddha says, promote the wholesome thoughts that has arisen in you. What is it? Promote the wholesome thoughts that has already arisen in you. That means that is what you are doing today, isn't it? So you are promoting the wholesome thoughts that has arisen, so you can do some meditation and you learn the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma, then it can promote. Then the next one is promote the wholesome thoughts that has not arisen in you. So those wholesome thoughts that has not arisen in you may be benevolence, giving, things like not becoming greed, sharing. Now they are the wholesome, that they can be wholesome things that has not arisen in you. Generosity, using kind words, keeping others happy, using good speech, giving good smile. Now there may be some of the things that has not arisen in your mind. So you promote the good thoughts that has already not arisen in you. Right? So we will talk more about the pride when you come back after lunch. And I will see you at 12:30, and we finish the session at 1:30. I have another story to go.